freedom, everyone has a concept about freedom associated with prison and different things, political freedom, social freedom, all these things. But here, what does it mean here? And here it means the human being becomes awake to their true nature, not conceptually only, but as a living and ongoing, unbroken experience. I can come a bit more to talk about that, but that is just your reality. And where you are free from selfishness, from egoic influence, from being flooded out by thoughts and the pressures of life, from fear, from depression, from the fear of death, from fear of life also, because some people are afraid of life also. And to find that natural joy and peace, which is not surrounded by a story or some context of something happening, like you got a raise in wages or something like that, or that you have met someone interesting. Not that type of happiness. The happiness which is synonymous with your own existence. And deep, profoundly intuitive knowing that what you are is imperishable. Again, that what you are does not end at the end of this bodily life. And that you would know it beyond belief. How you know something like this beyond belief, you know? Not that I believe in life after death, not that. I cannot explain. You come to know with a certitude and a certainty that cannot come merely from a book. It has to be something announced inside your very being, and you just come to know. We don't know things only because of outward study of books or scriptures or practice or so on. There's another knowing that arises within us. You may say by grace, or by somehow a kind of harmony or synchronicity with life. One just comes to know some things. And it's not so much a knowing of things, but a knowing of what life is and who you are. But it's not a conceptual knowledge that you keep inside your mind. And the being who has woken up from the sleep, and this sleep I call the sleep of personhood, because all human beings are born, so to speak, with a conviction. They don't born with the conviction, but we at least are reminded, or we develop a conviction that we are this body, primarily in some cases, and the conditioning that arises in the body. And we believe this so intensely that rarely throughout our lives do we question this. It is regarded as a fundamental principle and fact. But there are beings also who know that this is not true, and that's a severe limitation upon what we truly are. And that it is possible in the lifetime, in this lifetime. We don't know about other lifetimes. Many people tell you, we are old-timers at life. We have lived many, many lives. You may accept or maybe not accept. So let's take it at the ground that you are in this life, and that in this life it is possible to awaken in the way that I've just described. To be happy, and a happiness that's so broad that even moments of unhappiness or sadness can appear in it, just like clouds appear in the sky, but they cannot remove the sky. Different moods and thoughts and feelings can arise in you, but they cannot overwhelm you when you know the truth of who you are. And that for so many people, knowledge means something that you have. But here I'm talking about a knowledge that you are. It's not a knowledge about many concepts that we have and we believe in, but about your discovery, your self-discovery. It is our number one subject. Our second or number two subject is our number one subject. The number three subject is number one subject, because all our focus is here. That my primary connection with you is to guide those of you in whose heart is pounding for freedom, who is desperate to know God, to find fulfillment while you're here, and that I won't be deferring you somewhere else, and to make use of that opportunity. And if you don't really believe it, because there are some who have this yearning, but we don't have the faith, is it really possible? And there are others for whom, when it is sensed the possibility is alive, strong resistances will come. And they are not new to us. But for anyone who sets out on a journey for self-discovery, you will meet resistances. Primarily that comes from inside your own system, to distract you also, to raise up doubts within you, to slow you down, to introduce you to other things less challenging, to use up your time and miss your chance. That I should only look to you to confirm, to say, yes, Mooji, it is so. And not just have to take your word of mouth, but to see and to feel in your presence the power of your seeing. And that if there is delay, I would want to know why. Because I don't feel that I've come across a guidance that clearly comes from the true place that has made it so simple, actually. And yet, if the right earnestness and urge for freedom is not there, it can just become food for the mind. And the mind says, yeah, I know it, I can even recite it. But freedom is not going to be just for parrots, that you just can repeat what you've heard. You must be what you hear. Because we are not pointing to what you must become, but what you must rediscover and recognize, and at least in the beginning be faithful to it, to love it, to acknowledge it, until gradually the effort to be there falls away, and you find, but it's natural, it's natural. You see. And so I challenge the kind of complacency that can sit in. Sometimes we meet, and I have the chance to meet you more closely and to look at your seeing and how you meet life, and with what identity you're meeting life, and to point out, but wait, of course it's going to feel like that, because you are only living life in the idea you have of yourself and not of the true. And in a way that we can point it out also and say, can you see this? And you can look and say, yes, I can see this. And from where are you looking? And you can confirm, yes, it feels like a place I know but rarely visit. And we can continue looking, until all the subtle delusions are dispelled. And you are again testifying, confirming your true place. It has to be so. And it has to be followed up, because many great masters have walked on this earth. They had disciples, they had satsangs just like we have. But sometimes it's difficult to find their real disciple or their real follower. They get dispersed and they go back into something and say, wow, but how can it be? How can it be? Because if we were here to say, study, to be a cook or something, or a mechanic, or something, after 1 or 2 months, you must can, if you're a cook, sort of like make some nice pudding or something, bake a cake or something, make some nice al dente pasta or something like that. If you're a mechanic, you must can change a wheel or do an oil change or replace some spark plugs or something. You came for freedom. You've been here for some time. What is the evidence of your presence here, you see? You should not even have to speak up.